Well, hi guys, it's that time. It's our Bible teaching snippet of the day. Well, today I'm going to do another teaching and pick up on what I talked about yesterday. Yesterday I talked about the word medicine is not really in our Old Testament at all. In some of our translations, it does say medicine in Proverbs 17:22, but that was added and changed in the 14th century, okay? What is in there is healer, a cure or a healer, okay? So that's one word changed over time, and it's nowhere else in the Old Testament. I also talked about the word pharmakia and gave you all five of those, okay, yesterday. Today, and I brought this book up, and I said that I really couldn't suggest buying it. I love a lot of the information in it, guys, but what I find, unless people have kind of already studied a lot of stuff like I have, she mixes some of the Old Testament law, Moses stuff into her book, and that can get us into bondage if we're not clear on that, okay? So I don't recommend people reading it. It's got good information in it, but I don't want to cause confusion through people reading it. But I will talk about this just a little bit today, and I'm going to read the back of it. She says on the back, it says, "Have you ever wondered why God doesn't heal everyone? Jesus healed people. His disciples healed people. Paul healed people. Jesus said that all true believers would do miracles, the miracles that he did. Modern day believers like A. Allen, John G. Lake, Smith Wigglesworth did great miracles. Many believers today have prayed fervently and expectantly. Healing miracles never came. What are we doing wrong?" And she says the last sentence, it says, "The answer may surprise you. It's been hiding the whole time." Now, guys, I can teach probably 10 more sessions on medicine and all of the things that's mixed in with that, okay? And if y'all want me to, I will, okay? Because I think that the truth, well, it's not what I think, I'm going to quote it. The truth will set you free. But it's the truth that you know, because if you don't know truth, it hasn't got the power to set you free, okay? So with that said, she brought up A. Allen, John G. Lake, and Smith Wigglesworth, and those are great, great men of faith who saw dead raisings, people healed and everything. But this is what I want to tell you about John G. Lake real quick. Did you know that John G. Lake ran a healing house, more than one over the years, but he refused to minister to people who wanted to stay on their drugs, their prescription drugs. He told them that they either needed to trust their prescriptions and their doctors or to trust God, and they needed to decide which ones. So when they would come to his healing house, they would have to willfully, like I said, I'm not telling people to get off their drugs. I'm telling you to read up on those things, find out what the side effects are, and see if those are not the same symptoms that you're having. I think one of the biggest hindrances to seeing healings today will be prescription medications, is because the power of those drugs override our body to make them do what the doctor or what we as people want our body to do. Okay, but you can't keep putting measured poison in your body and your body get completely healed. Okay, guys. So anyway, I want to talk about John G. Lake just a little bit. When people would come to one of his healing houses, okay, he taught healing 3 or 4 hours a day every day, and people could come in and leave, kind of like outpatient, right? But there were other people who would come in and stay in his homes for like a month. Those people who he ministered to had to tell him whether they were willfully wanting to lay down their medications and trust God and learn how to become healed and walk in healing. And he would not let anybody, he had a nurse, an ex-nurse, I guess you'd say, running his front desk where they would check in at these healing houses, right? And they would have to willfully sign paperwork saying, "No, I don't want to take my meds anymore," and watch. They made them go cold turkey right there. Hand us your drugs, and we're throwing them away. Okay? That right there says you better have some faith when you show up at John G. Lake's healing house, because But watch, the man had over 80% people healed, okay? 70s and 80% all the time. His ministry had about 70%, but that was his ministry. He himself, as just an individual, had 80 or higher, okay? So he knew something, but he was a very well educated man. So with that said, what I want to do from here, and I am going to read something out of her book today, because this I did not know. Watch this. In a doctor or whoever, nurses, whatever, watch what they swear an oath to, or at least this is what's in this book, and this is what it used to be. If it's changed, I'm not aware of it. I just want to say that. But here, this is the Hippocratic Oath. Now listen to what it has to say. I swear by Apollo the physician, that's a false god, Apollo. He's in Revelation, by the way. And Asclepius, Hygeia, and Panacea, and all the gods and goddesses, making them my witnesses, that I will fulfill according to my ability and judgment this oath and this covenant. We have people in the medical profession swearing an oath to false gods to enter into the medical profession. Now, Asclepius, I've talked about him before. He's the guy that he's considered the healing medicine god. And he's the guy that they were worshiping at the pool of Bethesda. All those people at the pool waiting for the water to swirl. They know that was a pagan worship center where they found the little statues of Asclepius there. And see, that Israelite man was in the pagan worship center at those pools waiting for his opportunity to get healed by a false god. Now this Hygeia and Panacea, or however you say that, that's his two daughters who are supposed to be goddesses, okay? And Hygeia is hygiene, is short for that. So I just want you to know that when people, and look, I got to stop here and say this because I don't want people to think that I'm being mean here, because I'm not, okay? There are good people in medicine. There's good doctors, and I have really good doctor friends. I have doctor friends that learned the hard way after going through medical school and being in business that they are pawns in a game for profit, not just patients and sick people. The doctors are too. Doctors are not taught about what causes illnesses and what a natural health cure is and nutrition. They are told to listen to symptoms and write prescriptions. See, our doctors are pawns in the pharmaceutical profit game. And many of them know that now, okay? I talk to nurses all the time, and they talk to me about how they can't hardly handle working for hospitals anymore because they have to administer drugs that they know is going to kill people. Think about that. They know these drugs is going to kill the patient, such as chemo and things like that. I pray that you hear my heart here, because we don't like it when our paradigm and our false system that we've been taught since we were born into this world system, when it gets shaken and challenged, a lot of people get really upset. So anyway, I just wanted you to see that one thing in this book, and the book is good, but you got to have some discernment and understanding, and I don't want people to get it and think that I approve of and agree with everything that she writes, okay? All right, so the next thing that I want to say here, do I believe that there is a place for doctors? Yes, absolutely. If someone is hurt, if they've got a broken bone, it needs to be set. If sometimes something may rupture in our body and we don't want it, but we may need to have emergency surgery. Here's what I do want to go on record and say. I do not believe that it is God's intent or what he wants for any of us to get on a prescription medicine, permanent prescriptions, because those are poisons and they do not heal us or cure us. I've said this before. When they give you a prescription, it's like taking a piece of electrical tape and cutting it and putting it on a dashboard to blend in with the black background, and you cover up that red blinking light. red blinking light means something's not working right under the hood, and we need to raise the hood and figure out what's wrong and get that fixed, right? But see, you just cut a little piece of electrical tape and cover it up, and you don't know it's not running right. At some point, that car's going to be on the side of the road, and it's going to have to be towed into a mechanic shop, that's called a hospital, or it's got to be towed over to the scrap yard, and that's called the morgue. But we have to get under the hood and find out what we need to do to fix that thing. And again, guys, this is harsh. We got to change our diets. We got to change what we're putting in our body. We got to quit putting some things in it. That's just, if we really want to get well, we've got to step up and do our part. Does God heal? Oh, you better believe it. I've laid hands on 2,000 people. I've seen miracles and healings. But for you to keep your healing and to walk in healing, you may have to change some things. Take some poisons out of your daily routine. Okay? So what I had intended on talking about today, and I've already gone so long, I think I'm going to hop off, okay? But what I wanted to do, because yesterday I talked about the word sorcery and pharmakia, and what I wanted to do today is show you in the Bible what the word sorcerer is. And I guess really I ought to go ahead and do it. I just really don't like running 15 minutes every time. I'm already at 11 minutes. But I'm going to try to go on and do this, guys, because I don't want to just stay on a subject unless my viewers ask me to. So right here in Acts chapter 8, verse 9 through 19, this is Simon the sorcerer. And when he sees the power that Peter and all of them are walking in, Philip comes and he sees all these miracles and all, and then he sees Peter and everything, and with Holy Spirit's power. Well, I want to read to you about what it says here, and this is in the Passionate, and this is Acts 8, verse 9 and 10. Now there was a man who lived there who was steeped in sorcery. For some time he had astounded the people of Samaria with his magic, boasting to be someone great. Everyone from the least to the greatest among them was dazzled by his sorcery, saying, "This man is the greatest wizard of all. The divine power of God walks among us." And for many years, everyone was in awe of him because of his astonishing displays of magic arts. Now, I want to go down, and I'm going to read you the footnotes here in the Passion. This is why I like the Passion. They give you a lot of good information. Now, watch this. Acts chapter 8, verse 19, it says, "He, the sorcerer, Simon, boasted of himself, saying, I am the great God." Okay? And then we hear in verse 10, it says, and the Aramaic says, "And they were all praying to him and bowing down to him." See, now we get a clearer picture of what was going on here with Simon the sorcerer. He was making a good living, claiming to be sent by God or being a god. People did that back then, okay? And watch this, he was using magic potions and stuff as well to heal these people, guys, okay? So that's what I wanted to show you in that verse right there. So we see sorcery in there. And I made some notes. The word sorcery right there is number 3096, and it's only one time in the New Testament, okay? Now there is the word magos, and that's magicians, and that's in the Bible 5 times, and that's number 3097, and I'm going to cover that real quick and then hop off, okay? I guess this is a test to see who really likes to listen to Snippet Lady, because I'm going 15 minutes every day, and guys, I really like to study about 12 minutes. So let me read this to you. This is in Acts chapter 13, verses 6 through 8, and this is the Passion Translation. And it says, "From there they crossed the Isle as far as Patmos, or P-A-P-H-O-S, where they encountered a Jewish false prophet, a sorcerer named Elymas, who also went by the name of Son of Jesus. He had gained influence by the spiritual advisors to the regional governor, and considered by many to be a wise and intelligent leader." Okay, I'm going to stop here and read you a little bit of a footnote, because I got to get off here. I'm up at 15 minutes. Right here down in these footnotes, it is talking about that he was claiming to be a manifestation of God, and he was a sorcerer using the means of magic. Okay, so there's your sorcerer coming out in the Bible, of where these people would go around and use magic potions to try to heal people, and people paid them to do that. Well, guys, I'm going to sign off for today. I love you, and if you want me to keep going, I can, or I can move on to another subject. Just tell me if you make it through this teaching and what you'd like for me to do. I love you. Bye-bye.